Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to Blast Off with Light. And we're a place that we haven't been for quite a while. The Skeleton Farm. Now, I've made a minor adjustment to it. I added some witch water. Because I was thinking, I wanted to fight the wither eventually, and I was like, where am I going to get all the wither skellies? I don't know where a fortress is, and even then, they don't spawn all that often, and I searched around down in the roguelike dungeon, and not a whole lot of them down there either. At least not compared to everything else. And why do I have a garbage bow? Go in the garbage, garbage bow. So, Witchwater turns regular skellies into wither skellies, and a looting 3 sharpness 5 Terrorblade, and probably combination with the infernal mobs, makes short work of getting wither skeletons. But also necrotic bones. So let's grab some of this stuff and be on our way. There we go. Now this place hasn't really changed much. Haven't done any renovations. Don't really need to either. We've got our house for our villagers up there, but they're not currently in there. I'll show you where they are as well. You can see in the distance I started work on the slimification of this area. Added a lot of dirt, added a couple of slime trees. It's looking good. And then over here I wanted to grab some aluminum, I think. Osmium, tin, and aluminum. Let's grab a stack. Yeah. I still don't have a good ore processing setup. I haven't gone down and grabbed the lava and set up vats and all that. So, for now, we're just gonna toss it in there and eventually it'll get done whatever it's working on. I moved the villagers over here into a nice little old-fashioned iron farm setup. But even with all the doors and the perfect setup for them to breed, they still haven't. See, you get the love particles from them, but I don't think they've managed to both do it at the same time to get themselves all bred. So it might just be a matter of time, or there might be something wrong. I'll let that stew for a little while longer, and we'll see whether or not we can eventually get them to do what they're supposed to. But in here, it's just a basic old iron farm. You got water pushing in, you got doors all around. It's not going to be fast, but it'll produce iron and experience, and I don't know if iron golems drop anything extra in this pack. I don't know if they can be infernal. I mean, they're not hostile, but then again, neither are the pigmen, usually. So we've got that. We've got Damon the Priest still just sitting here, not being particularly friendly. I did a bit of work in the Nether as well, and we'll do a little bit extra on that today, probably. But with these necrotic bones, I'd kind of like to make some of these heart canisters. So, empty canisters take aluminum or tin and a bone. I figured I've got tons of aluminum. Now I should have other red hearts somewhere. There's 10 of those. I don't think I have any more anywhere else, though. Oh, there's some more. So what's the next level up? So yellow and notch. So we could make some extra red heart containers if we wanted for when we start getting yellow hearts. But there's no particular hurry on that. I just want to make sure this works. We don't have to do them all at once. Let's grab all this. And then we should be able to just do like so. Yeah, we don't need 11. 10 should be good. Okay, 10 of these, 10 of those, 10 of those, and oh, right. Jeweled apples. I don't know if I've got 40 diamonds. Do I have 40 diamonds? Yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't want emeralds. Diamonds! And then the apples. Jeez, I've got more apples than I can shake a stick at. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fairly certain this is how you make jeweled apples. Certainly how I would bejewel my apples. Boom! Let's put our diamonds back. Wow. Haven't used a lot of them lately. So anytime I go to get iron, which I don't have much of, I end up getting lots of diamonds and don't actually use them for anything. Oh, and I figured out what was causing audio issues. I don't know if I unplugged my mic at some point, but the computer decided to shove it all the way back up to 100%. That's just not a good place for mics. So I dialed it back a little, so now the audio should be just fine. Yeah. And then we just put these in here, like so. And we have our heart containers. And then we just put those in here. And in theory, actually, let's put them in one at a time, just to be safe. And now, in theory, we should regenerate our hearts up into the orange. That's nice. That'll come in handy, because there's so many things that just really wail on me. Particularly the infernal mobs when they get vengeance. And when you deal damage to them, they deal damage to you. It's just bad time. Yeah. So we've got that. We've got these other big things going on. That was the biggest thing I've been working on. Going forward, I'd like to do more in the next probably 2 months than I have been lately, because my wife is in Scotland. So I'm going to record more episodes so she can hear my voice more often. And I'd also like to do more live streaming type events. I want to try out the YouTube live streaming system, particularly with Minecraft, because you guys already follow me on YouTube. And if you don't, you probably should. But it should notify you when I go live. I don't know for certain, but it really ought to. And any other games that I play, I'll stream on Twitch. 40. It's not the best, but it'll put me at full. Good enough. So yes, whenever I do like Necrodancer or Rebirth, that'll be on Twitch. But Minecraft, I want to try to do on YouTube's live streaming. I'd also like to do that early in the morning, but I'll post an announcement video if and when that starts happening, such that you know. And I want to do more community engagement stuff. I want to get involved with you guys and have you guys playing with me. Not necessarily here. This is just a single player world, but potentially on other packs and other things. And I'll let you know when those are solidified as well. So now that we've got all those hearts and we've got a few things are in our inventory, let's head on over to the Nether. I have spent a bit of time here. Come on now. Hello, guest. Oh. So close. So it's still pretty much the same as when we were last here. No serious amounts of additional explosions have happened, but I have built this all the way up. Hello. All the way up. It goes straight up into the ceiling. Now, the vines have not necessarily had a chance to grow all the way, so we're going to need to do a bit of jumping, which is fine, because you can do that, and it's probably faster than actually climbing the vines. So I might actually consider coming in here and adding some string. And what? Oh, right, it's on the other side. I don't know why I put them on the wrong side. So I might consider coming in with some string. Really? Coming in with some string to prevent the vines from growing all the way down. Okay, so we're facing this way. Prevent the vines from growing all the way down so I can do those jumpy type things. I haven't killed enough spiders to get enough string to get enough wool to make good elevators. Green means go. Green means go. Now I think this will be a good enough spot to do what we need. We've got a space for a piston, space for a block, space for a minecart. We don't have a good place for hitting the track, but it should work. So. Oh, do we have a way back? We've got obsidian. Do we have flint and steel? We've got steel, but we don't have flint. It's going to be very bad to get all the way up there and then not be able to come back. Oh, that's no good. Okay, so I will cut and I will be right back. And we're back. I went back to the surface, I got myself flint and steel and some dark oak saplings. So the way this is gonna work, I'm gonna take a piston, I'm gonna take pretty much any block, and then put some rails on top, and then minecart on top of that, and then somehow we need to break. There we go. Break the rails without breaking the cart. And now we put down our block of redstone. That did not do what it was supposed to. Perhaps we need a better block. Yeah, the slime might not have been the best choice. Okay, so let's instead use netherrack. Let's try this again. Okay. Now, we power it. And now it's gone. Why is the cart gone? Okay. This is being very strange. I should be able to see the cart. Perhaps we need to place the rails in this direction. That is not the direction. This is why you should test things ahead of time. I was not entirely sure this space would be appropriate, but it was the best I could find on short notice. Well, let's just give it another try, see if it acts any different. Because I'm fairly confident that this is the way it's supposed to work. And we're free! Okay. That did not go nearly as smoothly as it was supposed to. But it worked! We are on the ceiling! Well, the roof. Safe and sound. With a way back, because we've got our obsidian, we've got our flint and steel. But we also have some dirt and some dark oak. So we can try think it's 113, 133. I think this is the block that we want to break. I'm not 100% certain that this trick works in this pack, but I would love to see it work. I don't know also if you can make it succeed with a watering can or if you have to force it with bone meal. And if you do, I've got a few bones to spare. But I'm all about science. I like seeing whether or not certain things will work. Oh, the light levels might not be high enough. So let's put this here. And that will likely help with the light levels and make it more willing to grow. Because trees don't like growing in the dark. Oh, speaking of growing, we need more fluids. Now, generally use bone meal for this, because, well, sometimes... Oh, let's put it on fast, because we just want to annihilate this tree. Yeah, generally use the bone meal to make it go really fast, because you don't want to be sitting around all day waiting for these things to grow. And I should have enough bone meal such that we don't have to wait all day. But eventually, it should grow roots down and break through the bedrock using said roots. But apparently, we are gaining saplings in the process, so that's a really good sign. Sometimes when working with dark oak, since you have to use 4 to grow the tree in the first place, you can end up with a sapling deficit and end up with no saplings left at all. Really frustrating. Really is. So we've managed to get lots of hearts. We've managed to get to the roof of the nether. This is, I feel, a very nice place for, say, fighting a wither. I might also move the iron farm up here and make it a dual farm. Oh, really? Because I should be able to make it both an iron farm and a pigman farm. The only difficulty is the moment you make it an iron farm, you're probably also making it a ghast farm, and ghast farming is generally problematic. To say the least, really. But ghasts are 4x5x4. So with iron golems only needing to be 3 tall, you should be able to make it secure. And this seems to be making a liar out of me. But then again, this is not supposed to be a fast process. Not every tree will grow roots down. Where is my dirt? And regardless, at the end of this process, I should have tons and tons of wood that I can use for, you know, building things or anything, really. But after that, once we've got the farm up here, I kind of want to put my applied energistics set up here, because we're going to get all sorts of weird things from that farm. Because you can get a lot of strange things off of infernal mobs, and, well, every pigman is infernal. All of them. So that'll be pretty good. We have too many logs. So I'm going to give this one more try, and if it doesn't work, I'm just going to build the portal back and use the cart to get up here again later. Or, actually, we're close enough to the end of the episode. I'm going to try one tree after this. I know, I said just one more. I'm going to try one more tree, see if I can make a way down, and then I'll probably call it an episode. I will be making episodes more regularly, so you can expect one before next weekend. And it might be a wither fight. I'll see if I've got the stuff necessary for upgrading my armor, because right now is not so great. I mean, it's diamond level, but you don't want just diamond level when fighting withers. Come on, tree. Do your thing. Grow with roots. And it didn't grow with So roots. I'd totally forgotten the most important part of how to make this work. You don't actually grow the tree, because it's not going to grow down as a normal tree. You just go bam, 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 bam. And then, I don't know if the watering can will do it. But it's good to know if the watering can will do this. But if you force these to grow with the tree above it, it'll freak out. And that's when it'll dig its roots down into the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pretty sure the watering can is not going to do it. Yep, fairly confident. So instead, we'll grab ourselves some bone meal. And there we go. We now have a weird tree situation. Let's clear out our weird tree situation. And we broke some of our dirt. And now you see, this bedrock was flat. Now we have a log in it. And another. Only 2, but 2's not bad. So then we can clear some of this stuff out and give it another go. We might at some point want to move this base so we can get a 4x4 one lower. But for now, all you do is just replace these, hit them with the bone meal again. And you're going to have to do this quite a few times. And eventually, you'll have yourselves a pathway. Yeah, quite a few times. I think I was just lucky with that first one. Yeah, probably. Actually, let's get rid of these leaves. It might be spoiling our results. Yes, Ghast, we know you're there. And there we are. Now, whether or not the leaves were actually spoiling it has yet to be determined. We have anecdotal evidence. Oh, that one was real good. So yeah, we've got a little bit of anecdotal evidence that the leaves... Oh, stupid chest. That the leaves cause issues, but it's not conclusive. I still might need to go back to the surface because I'm running low on power on my atomic disassembler here, or I can just use regular tools. Maybe use my fist for a little bit. But we can see that the technique does in fact work in 7.10. I don't believe it works anymore in 1.8. There's no way it's going to keep working in 1.9. But this is how you make your way back through. All you need is one of these to get down like so. And you might have made your way all the way through. Now, with smart moving, I can escape. But I might not be able to get back up through here if I do escape that way. So I will likely keep working at this. Try to get it to a nice situation where I can easily get back and forth. But you don't need to watch me do that. I will see you in the next episode of Blast Off with Light. Bye-bye.